joyful, all ye nations rise, join the triumph of the skies, with angelic hosts proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King.
First you take the 4 strips and you place them on the table like this, with the bended end going away from you. Then you take this strip of paper and you slide it inside this piece of paper, like this. Turn the whole thing anti-clockwise. Take the next strip, put it inside this strip, turn anti-clockwise, and finally the last piece of paper, which you open, slide the bottom piece of strip beneath the strip and the other one over it. Then you take the ends and you slide them through this slot here. Just move the strips closer together so that they form a nice square in the middle. Next thing we need to do is to lock it. We do this by folding the top piece across the middle square, turn anti-clockwise, do the same thing with this piece, and again anti-clockwise, this piece, and then the final one across here, fold it. Now take the end and slide it beneath here into this slot coming from this piece. It's not always easy, so what you can do is you can fold a corner like this and it'll hopefully slide right through. There you go. Now it's locked. Then you take the tips. The tips you can form by grabbing this piece and you turn it around like this and towards yourself and fold a triangle. Then you grab this piece of paper and turn it around, sliding it through here. Again, you can fold it, making it easier. And to check if you've put it in the right way, imagine that you should be able to drive a car on the inside of the loop. Well, you need to go fast for that, but you get the point. And you pull it through carefully. Making another triangle fold like this. Turn anti-clockwise, do the same thing. There you go. Sliding it through. Anti-clockwise again, and what you do is just repeat with all 4 of the strips. always a good idea to fold it. There you go. And slide it through. Carefully folding another triangle. And the final one. There. And here you need to be sure that it goes underneath here. It's not enough here. Just slide it through. Just going to fold this again. And going through. There you go. Then you take the whole thing, you just turn it around, and you do the exact same thing. This time with the longer pieces of strips, but the procedure is the exact same. Having done all of this, you will end up with 4 tips of the star on one side and 4 tips on the other side. Now you need to make top stars, the top tips and the bottom tips. Start with this piece and do the same thing as you did with these tips here. Just pull it like this, back, and fold it. Then you lift up this piece and you put this inside here. Now, the way you can see if you've done it correctly. Won't go. Okay. The way you can see if you've done it correctly is by looking at the loop. The loop looks differently than the other loops. Yeah, you can see how it goes. And just slide it through. Maybe a bit difficult, but it's possible. If it won't just go, you can try sliding it a bit back and forth till you get it through. Be careful not to push it too hard, because if you do, it'll wrinkle and it'll be impossible to get it through. Okay. See, I've already wrinkled it a bit. So what I do is I make the fold a bit bigger, like this, and I'll try again. And it goes through the other side. Just pull it in so that you can make a standing tip like this. Next, take this strip and you do the same thing. Be sure to fold just a bit, because if you don't, you won't be able to control it when it goes into the standing tip. there. Next one. Same procedure. You will need a bit of patience because it doesn't always work as you'd like it to work, but eventually it will go through and you'll be able to make another tip like this. And the final one on this side, exactly the same procedure, but you won't have the tail to lift first because it's already been used for this tip. But otherwise than that, other than that, it's the same procedure. There you go. Now comes the difficult part, because you need to flip it over and you can't work the same way because it's not lying flat on the table, but the procedure is the same. Fold it. Slide it under the tail. And this is how I hold it on the other side, because there's a bit of flat. There's a flat piece here, so holding that I can easily slide it through, grab the tip. If you have nails, it's a bit easier. There you go. Making the tip. Next one. Same procedure. And again, slide it through. Still careful to hold your other fingers at the flat piece on the other side so that you won't bend the other tips. Okay, I've curled it again. I'm just going to remove this piece because it just get in the way. There. And again the same procedure. And you just do that with all 4 of them. Now we are almost finished. The star itself has been done, but as you can see, these strips, these strips doesn't make it look very nice, does it? Now there are 2 ways to remove them. Either you can cut them with a pair of scissors or a knife, or you can just tear it off. Now there are different opinions on how best to do it. I seldom use a pair of scissors because if I do, I risk cutting into the tips of the star. So instead what I usually do is I tear it off. The first thing I do is that I grab the strip and I pull it a bit further through than it really should be. Careful not to ruin the tip, and just pull it a bit more through, because by doing this I can tear off here and then just let it slide a bit in again. Now it's not visible. Now I can do that with the other tips as well. There. Tear it off. Let it slide back. And again. Tear it off. Slide it back. And again. Pull it a bit further, tear it off, and let it slide back. And then I turn the star, and I do the same thing with the final 4 strips. There. There. And there. And the last one. There. Now we're done. And you have a nice star that you can use for your Christmas decorations. You can put it on the Christmas tree, or you can use it as a part of a decoration. Hanging it on a Christmas tree, or perhaps in a window. Of course, you need a piece of thread. And in my next video, I'll show you how to do that. It's quite easy. So there you go. Enjoy.